Welcome back, everyone, to Small Talk, a quick market update on what's happening in the market today. Why was the market red? Period. So, a few things that took place. Of course, there's a tariff deal that was closed with European Union yesterday, and also there was a talk about China tariff deal. Trump said that he is going to delay the China tariffs for at least next 60 days. I believe it was. Just fact check. I'm not sure if it was 90 days or I think it was 60 days. I'm almost sure. But today, Donald Trump has threatened China to to uh, put 100% tariff on China if they keep buying oil from Russia. Oils are going up, and all the oil stocks are going up today because of the ban of Russian oil, and of course, we get a loss of oil from Russia as well. So, uh, Israel has also said that they are afraid that Iran is going to attack Israel again, and we have no choice but to attack Iran. I don't know where they get their CIA reports from, but basically what they want to do is they want to go ahead and start another fight with Iran and escalate the situation because they just can't see peace in the region. And their goal is to expand Israel to become part of the greater Israel propaganda that they're working on. Killing and mass murdering Muslims in Gaza is not enough for Israel. And here, everybody is pro-Israel because they just can be. One of my old mosques in New York had sent a flyer out, or email out rather, stating that they had posted some pictures on one of the fundraising flyer with the Masjid Aqsa and the Jewish wall, whatever it's called, in Jerusalem. And some guy claimed that he is going to charge $3,000 because he has uh, the rights to own those pictures, and that mosque has stole his pictures without his permission. So when it was dug deep into it, there was no reference of him owning the pictures at all. So Israel not only is occupying Gaza illegally, now they're also trying to attack Muslim and Muslim communities in the US by other means as well, because they're trying to rob them with their money and their fame as well. So just be careful, all the mosques around the North America and in the US and Australia and UK, wherever you guys are located. So now let's go back to the market. Of course, market is down because everybody is looking forward to the FOMC meeting's result tomorrow. The meeting has started today, Tuesday, uh, June 29th, I think. Sorry, July 29th is today is the date. Tomorrow is the second day of the meeting, and people are waiting, or investors and institutions are waiting for Federal Chairman Jerome Powell to talk about tax cut and give a hint what what he is willing to do. Nobody is expecting him to do a rate cut tomorrow in July. However, people are anticipating that he will announce a rate cut for September, possibly. The other thing people are waiting to see if he is hawkish or dovish, depending on what the data has said. The JOLTS report was this morning, looked fine, and I think, in my personal opinion, Jerome Powell is going to say that we're still data dependent, and we're going to wait and see how the data looks like in the coming month, and then maybe in September they'll do a rate cut. Now, this is a question whether it's going to be one and done type of thing, or they're going to keep doing continuous rate cuts going forward, maybe 25 basis points September, then maybe October, November, December. That's something the investors and institutions are waiting for, and that's why the market was red today. Everybody had pulled their money out, because in case Jerome Powell is hawkish tomorrow, that is going to actually cause a market collapse, at least for the short term. But if he sounds dovish and he says, well, we're going to wait and see, and most probably we are going to have rate cuts, the possibility of rate cut in September is highly likely, and then I think the market is gonna go higher because people are just waiting on the sideline for now. We all know what happened with Tesla. Tesla collapsed after its third quarter earnings. However, it just jumped right back up. That's what happens with Tesla. Whenever there's a dip, there are so many people on the sideline who are willing to buy Tesla again, and they want to take part in this run because Tesla has a good story to tell. They're obviously working on their robotaxi, FSDs, humanoid robots, and all that good stuff. Tesla has also signed a deal with, oh my God, now I'm going blank with the company, that they're going to have the chips developed in the US. I think they're just shifting away from Taiwan semiconductor, and they're going to have the chips uh, um, produced in the US, and that's a good sign for Tesla. That means they're working on their autonomous car very seriously, and they're going to take control over the supply chain issues. I forgot the name of the company, just it's a very famous company. I'm just going blank. I'm not going to waste time. So Tesla has a good story to tell. They're obviously expanding on their robotaxi and their FSDs, and they're working really hard. They also have one robotaxi or FSD deliver itself in Austin, Texas area, or no, sorry, in California somewhere. It basically left its gigafactory, drove all the way to the client's house, and parked itself in front of the client's house. That's how amazing it was. So people are looking forward to Tesla making a big announcement, and that's what happened. Also, Donald Trump had made a statement on one of his social media platforms saying that he wants Tesla to be successful because Tesla is a U.S. company, and that's why he is all willing to help Tesla as much as they can, and that's what made the Tesla stock go higher. So I think the short-term Tesla target for me is $350 towards the end of the year. I think 400, 450 is possible. Again, the market was red because everybody is waiting on the sideline for Jerome Powell and Fed's decision on rate cut. In my personal opinion, I think they're going to announce that they will do a rate cut in September, and then of course they might do a rate cut in November or December possibly. At least 2 or maybe 3 is also a possibility. But I think what the Fed is going to say tomorrow is that they're still data dependent. They will wait for the job report, and and then they'll see how the CPI report comes next month, and then they'll decide accordingly. Uh, Everybody in the Federal Reserve seems to be on the same page. However, there are some stuff going on in the background. For example, the Fed Governor Christopher Waller is of the opinion that he is okay with having a rate cut in July, even though on the surface they all seem to be on the same page. But it looks like that they may have some background conflict developing within the Fed. Some people may not agree with Jerome Powell's decision. I know Donald Trump wants Jerome Powell to cut rate as soon as possible because he thinks economy is strong. 5 months in a row, we've been getting strong CPI data, and the economy looks strong. There is no sign of inflation anymore, and it's time that we should take charge. However, Fed is walking on a very tight rope. They just don't want to cut rates suddenly, because if the economy is going towards inflation. At the same time, they don't want the country to hit recession as well by not cutting rates. So they have to be very mindful and very, very careful and observe the data very closely, and that's exactly what they're going to do tomorrow. So hopefully, Jerome Powell will sound dovish tomorrow, and his body language and what statement he makes, especially his press conference, what his answers are to the questions of those who are attending his conference. I think that's what's going to define where the market is going for the rest of the week. And today that was the reason why market has collapsed today. Everything, oh my God, it was a bloodbath. Also, I think Donald Trump is making progress as far as tariff is concerned. He has closed a deal with EU, with Japan, with Vietnam, I believe it was, Canada. He's only waiting for China, because China is like big manufacturer of lots of our products consumer products that we use in this country. So I guess, and China is very resilient to this kind of trade war. They have been obviously preparing for this trade war, and they have their trade relationships with other countries within the South Asian and Asian region. So they're not worried as much. Plus, their public is more resilient to this kind of situation, whereas American society is very ADD or ADHD society. They just can't take this kind of trauma for too long because they're so used to giving everything into them in a plate. Anyways, so I think 2 months delay in China tariff was a good sign that at least moves away this tension that we don't know what's going to happen with China. August 1st is coming, and as Donald Trump had announced that he is going to implement the tariffs on certain countries. It could be 15 to 20%. He said he's not sure which one is going to be one of these numbers, but he hasn't determined which one. So we have to still sit back and wait and see what he announces when August 1st comes, which is, in 2 days. All right, I'm still bullish on the market. I think market's still gonna do well today. It was a bad bath. I didn't like it. My portfolio did not look very good. You know, when you see that you're losing so much money in one day, it kind of, turns you off a little bit. But that's that. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Until next one, take care and bye.